What is up, everyone? A massive update for the Pokemon Go Battle League just dropped, and it includes a bunch of attack changes and moveset updates. A lot of exciting stuff here, also some bad stuff. We're gonna talk about it all today. Well, not all of it, just the important stuff. There's like some fluff in here too that you really shouldn't even have to think about. So today, I'm just gonna try to keep it short, sweet, and insightful. Just telling you whatever is really gonna change the meta. Starting off with the attack changes, we got Mud Slap, which is getting an energy generation increase. To be honest, I don't think this is really gonna change much, especially in Great League, as there aren't that many Pokemon that can really learn Mud Slap. If they have Mud Slap, they generally already have better fast attacks, like Axel's Mud Shot, Counter, or Bonfinesse Counter, Grimer's Poison Jab. Gastrodon could get improved though, but Gastrodon, even with a really good Mud Slap, it's probably still going to be suboptimal compared to a Swampert, Quagsire, or Whiscash. I don't see it overtaking those Mud Boys unless Mud Slap becomes insane, which I don't think is going to happen. Another Pokemon that could benefit from Mud Slap is Claydol, but it's Claydol, right? In Master League, Mud Slap could have some implications for Rhyperior especially. I do like seeing that. You know, Dialga is an absolute Master League menace, and having another answer to it, a better answer in Rhyperior improved Mud Slap, is pretty nice. Next up, we got the Fire buffs. Fire Spin is getting buffed to 10 power, Incinerate is getting buffed to 20 power, which is massive, and Blaze Kick is getting buffed to 60 power, which isn't great. And I do love these buffs, and Blaze Kick's not that big, but these two are amazing, especially Fire types have been out of the meta for a very long time. Actually, if you look at the current rating of Fire types, there are none in the top 100. Charizard does get used occasionally, and we do see the occasional Kanto Ninetales as well, but you know, that's about it. They're just not that great at the moment, but these buffs will definitely make them a lot more viable. Fire Spin, I don't think will be that big of a buff. It will definitely make Alola Marowak a little better. It will make the Fire Spin variant of Kanto Ninetales a little better. And it will make Solgaleo better in Master League, which is something I don't like, by the way. I think this is very bad. Solgaleo is super hard to get. It's already incredible with the current Fire Spin, and it's just going to be even better with the new Fire Spin. So I don't like this buff to Solgaleo, but for the Great League, I do not mind it at all. And what I also do not mind at all is the Incinerate buff. This Incinerate buff is absolutely insane, by the way. It's going from 15 to 20 power, which is a 33% increase in damage, which is crazy. Just for reference, Counter is currently a 4 damage per turn, 3.5 energy per turn attack, and it is considered the strongest fast attack in the game. Incinerate is currently 3 DPT, 4 EPT. Slightly less good than Counter. The new Incinerate is gonna become 4 DPT, 4 EPT, which is better than Counter is. It's actually better than Counter is. The only thing that's holding it back is that Incinerate, of course, is a 5-turn move, which is a lot more clunky than a 2-turn move in Counter. But I do expect these insane statistics to make up for that clunkiness. And you're gonna see that in the simulations as well. If you look at the current ranking of Skyrush and Talonflame, they're not doing that good. But new Incinerate is just gonna go crazy, especially on Talonflame. I put them in a matrix sim here. You can already simulate with the new attacks, by the way. You just have to go to custom and then find new Incinerate in the list here. And this will already have the new stats. And if we put it against the old Incinerate with Brave Bird moveset, and then the new Incinerate with Fly moveset, that's another attack that's getting added to Talonflame, by the way, Fly, you're just gonna see that Fly is generally, I think, gonna do better. I think there's still definitely a lot of merit to Brave Bird, by the way. Brave Bird is an absolutely insane attack. However, it does come with that downside of dropping your defense, which is why I do think overall Fly is better, because it's just more consistent. But if you're down to bait, Brave Bird is still definitely looking very strong. They have about the same win rate, but if you start turning baits off, Fly just takes it. It has 8 more wins in once without baiting. It does like incredible neutrally as well, which is just great to see. Like Umbreon, it's not looking that good right now, but you need, if you have a good IV Talonflame, you're gonna win the once straight Fly, which is just incredible. I don't know why it's lost sorting there. It does get the 2 foul plays, but still, good IV Talonflame wins that matchup. If we put Brave Bird here, let's see, do you still win? No, you're gonna start losing. But it's also like bait dependent, you know. If you can get a flame charge, that's fine. With All Incinerate, I don't think it even got close. I mean, you win zeros, but that's it. You need to double Brave Bird too. Like that's just kind of bad. I think you could like hit a flame charge here. No, even if you got a flame charge bait, you lost that. You lost that. Like new Incinerate Talonflame with Fly. It's just going to be absolutely insane. Brave Bird can still work too, though, for sure. It just depends on how you like to play your Talonflame. Another Incinerate user that's going to be stronger is Skeledirge for sure. I don't think it's going to be like as strong as Talonflame is going to be, because Talonflame is going to be pure meta, but Skeledirge is still gonna be fun, but maybe not super meta. I just wanted to show you a couple sims just to drive home the point of how strong the new Incinerate's gonna be. Here we have a matchup versus Lickitung, okay? We're just gonna not have it bait, because that's important for my what I'm gonna show you here. With all Incinerate, you get absolutely owned. You get absolutely owned. Alright? Now, let's do new Incinerate, okay? Let's do new Incinerate. Oh, wait, come on. Hello. Oh. I think the sim's messed up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. A little bit of an error here. Incinerate. New. Boom. You win the ones? That's crazy. That's absolutely wild. If you have you need a good IV Skeledirge for this. But with the new Incinerate, you can win the ones versus Lickitung, because the Incinerates add up enough to where double Disarming Voice knock out the Lickitung, and that's just wild. Another matchup you win. Yes, I'm putting a water type here. Pelipper. Pelipper. You beat in the ones if you get a Disarming Voice bait and a Shadow Ball. Because of the extra Incinerate damage you're now doing, the Shadow Ball actually knocks out, which is just wild. These are very niche scenarios that will likely never really play out this way, but this is just to show you how strong new Incinerate can be. It is wild. And I love that, because previously we've seen very little high duration turn attacks in the open in all of PvP, to be honest. It's generally just been 2 turn attacks, 1 turn attacks, and 3 turn attacks, sometimes, never 4 or 5. Those are very rare. And now Incinerate is going to be one of the strongest attacks out there, and we're going to see those 5 turn attacks in a lot of battles, which I think is awesome for variety. Next up, Breaking Swipe. I don't know what to think about this. Chance to lower opposing Pokemon's attack is no longer guaranteed. Now, that means Steelix nerfed, and I love that. I think Steelix was way too annoying in Open Great League, especially. Way too good. It's just able to force, like, switch advantage or win versus almost anything. Just going straight Breaking Swipe to drop your attack, and that was unfun. However, there were a lot of fun Pokemon with Breaking Swipe as well, like Heliolisk in Ultra League, Haxorus everywhere, Rayquaza in Master League, Rhyperior in Master League, and those will now pretty much be unusable, most likely, because of this Breaking Swipe nerf. The only Pokemon that will really still be able to use Breaking Swipe is Steelix, because it's bulky, it's gonna get to enough Breaking Swipes to where you flip the coin enough times, you're gonna get the debuff, right? And the other Pokemon just don't have the bulk to do that. So Steelix will still be able to use Breaking Swipe, but it will be less good. And I do like that Steelix is getting less play, but those other Pokemon, it's just too much collateral damage. So yeah, I don't like this. I really like this. They should have just removed it from Steelix, but sadly they don't really remove attacks from Pokemon. Speaking of Steelix, Iron Tail buff. Another buff I really don't understand. This is not gonna be changing the meta in any way, by the way, because there's only a couple Pokemon that get Iron Tail that could benefit from that. And that's Steelix, Bastiodon, Dewgong, Probably not. Just T-Rex and Bastiodon. And those Pokemon did not need a buff. So I don't understand why they even are giving Iron Tail a buff. It blows me away. But it's probably not going to be impactful anyway. What might be impactful though is Steel Wing. Steel Wing, really only an attack that's going to be useful on Skarmory. There's a lot of other flyers that get it too, but they probably don't want to use a Steel attack. Whereas Skarmory could definitely use it. And with new Steel Wing, Skarmory becomes a really good answer to especially Carbink, which is nice. One of the cores we've seen a lot this past season has been a Carbink Grass core. Yeah, look at this. It's absolutely crazy. You can just fully Steel Wing down in the ones. Not in the zeros, but if you're Shadow, I think you can. Yeah, Shadow. Oh my goodness, look at this. Straight fast attacks. Straight fast attacks. This is insane. Skarmory fully fast attacks down. Carbink can also beat Grasses, because Carbink Grass core was a very common duo. Oh, you can almost fully fast attack down a Superior as well. Yeah, but it was a very common duo, and Skarmory is now a very good core breaker with that. I wonder if you beat Lickitung. Skarmory has always kind of struggled with Lickitung, as your HP pool is just very, very low, so the Licks do a lot of damage. Don't seem to be that good against Lickitung still, but there's more play than you had with the Air Slash for sure. Right? They're about the same. But overall, I do think Steel Wing is an improvement for Skarmory. But I don't think it's really going to make a dent into the meta, since there will be a lot of fire types and probably Lantern too to counter the Talonflames, which will make it very difficult for Skarmory to really shine. Okay, next up, Astonish. It finally got the buff it deserved, and they're changing the power from 5 to 9, which is a big buff. Makes Astonish a reasonable move. The thing is, there aren't really any Pokemon that use Astonish, or that will be able to use it effectively, because almost every other Pokemon that can learn Astonish already has a better attack, like Runerigus, Scovigus with Shadow Claw. Rollout is just going to be better on Dunsparce, Hauntrash, Shadow Claw. Drifblim is the one Pokemon where I'd say Astonish could be useful. Looking at the new Astonish, it's going to be a ghost attack with some more damage. Other ghost attacks have like 2 DPT or like... Lick is actually pretty high damage. Shadow Claw is high damage, but if you compare it to Hex, it's low damage. And Astonish is going to be higher damage than Hex as a 3-turn attack. That's kind of what you want to compare it to. So if you want a 3-turn attack with high damage, Astonish could be the way. So it could maybe be interesting for Drifblim if you want to combine it with those debuffing moves in Icy Wind and Mystical Fire. But besides that, I think Hex is just better to get to the Shadow Balls quicker. So overall, I don't think Astonish will really see much use. What we'll see use though is Bubble. Bubble is getting buffed. Yeah, you heard that right. Bubble is getting buffed. It's actually getting unnerfed, because these used to be the Bubble stats, 8 power in like Season 1 of Go Battle League. I'm pretty sure they nerfed Bubble in like Season 4 because Azumarill was too strong, but now a lot more answers for Azumarill have popped up, like Grass types, Registeel, Lanterns now everywhere, and decided, okay, let's buff Azu back. And I think that's a decent choice, because Azumarill right now, it is not the best. It's definitely seeing use, but it's not the best. And it is a nice core breaker in the meta for like Meta Champ Carbink core. It beats Gligar, which is everywhere. So I really don't mind that buff. And with that buff, Azu is just going to be a lot better. Let's just sim it real quick. It gains a ton of wins. It's definitely going to be one of the best new Pokemon. I am pretty sure, well, it's not new Pokemon, but one of the best Pokemon in the new meta. Can now actually beat Frostlass. Let's do high ranked, because most of you probably have a high ranked Azumarill, at least better than rank 400, and you definitely do want that high rank. And look at how many wins you have. Actually being able to beat or at least tie with Alolan Sandslash without running Hydro Pump is crazy, because you're only doing resisted damage and they're doing neutral back. So those bubbles really add up there. You're now able to beat Metachamp consistently, even with the old Psychic. Psychic's also getting nerfed, by the way, little spoiler for later. But yeah, actually being a good counter to Metachamp now is huge. Being able to beat Alolan Ninetales, being able to beat Swampert consistently, yeah, Azu is going to be a monster again in this new meta. There's also other Pokemon in the bubble, like Jellicent, but it's probably still going to prefer Hex. There's Ludicolo, which is still too slow. There's Mantine, but it will probably still prefer Wing Attack. So overall, I don't think much more will get hit by this buff than Azumarill, but Azumarill is definitely getting hit very nicely. Alright, Scold. This is actually a buff I don't like. Scold was already a decent attack. If you look at 50 energy attacks here, you're gonna see, where is it? Oh yeah, Dark Pulse is 80-50. What else is 80-50? Dig is 80-50. Sludge Bomb is 80-50. And then we have Scold, which used to be 80-50. It was already a very good, I would say average to good attack. 1.6 DPE is nothing to scoff at, and already had a 30% chance to drop the attack. Now it's getting buffed to 85 damage, which makes it a 1.7 DPE attack, which is really, really strong. That's like solid. That's like very solid. And then it's also gonna get an increased chance to drop the opponent's attack. And what that increase is going to be, we don't quite know yet. Beefpoke has speculated it at 40%. I'm guessing it might also be 50%. Maybe it's going to be higher. I would guess 50 is the max though. It's either going to be 40 or 50. That's my guess. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm not a fan of the RNG attacks, like Crunch especially. And I never really minded Scold, because there wasn't really anything good that could use Scold. But they're giving Scold to a ton of Pokemon. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And not everyone uses it as effectively, but one Pokemon that can really use it effectively is Whiscash. Whiscash is a very bulky Pokemon. A very bulky Pokemon. And can spam Scalds like no other. And that is just going to be annoying to play against. Because it just has a chance to drop your attack, and you know, if you get it, you lose. If you don't, you win. So, just to show you the power of Scald, well, maybe this isn't the best showcase, but I thought this was a very funny simulation. We're going back to Lickitung. So, first off, Whiscash gets destroyed by Lickitung. Okay, it's not funny unless you get like a lot of Scald debuffs. All right. Actually, if you get 4 Scald debuffs, or do you only need 3? Oh, it seems you only need 3. If you get 3 Scald debuffs in a row, you beat Lickitung because you survived the power rip. That's crazy, right? That's never gonna happen. I know that's never gonna happen, but there are a lot of other matchups that are gonna be extremely like debuff dependent, and it's really just gonna be a luck of the draw whether or not that's gonna happen, you know. And I don't like this RNG factor at all. And there's going to be a lot of Pokemon that have Scald now, especially like Poliwrath. We're going to get into Poliwrath later. Poliwrath's going to be good too. First though, we're going to talk about Psychic. Psychic getting nerfed to 75 power. This will make Medicham definitely a little bit less strong. However, Medicham, of course, still has alternative movesets. It can still run Dynamic Punch or Power Punch instead of Psychic, and it will still be a very strong Pokemon with those attacks. However, it will be easier to counter. Psychic was like extremely good coverage to beat a lot of its counters. And without Psychic, it will no longer be able to do that. A Pokemon like Talonflame will now be very strong against it. Frostlass will be very strong against it. Azumarill will be very strong against it. So overall, I do think the combination of the Psychic nerf and like Talonflame buff, Azumarill buff will make Medicham a lot less strong. And I mean a lot less strong. We're still going to see it for sure, a lot. But it's going to be way more manageable, which I think is very, very, very nice. We're also going to see other counters. Counter users got buffed later on. Can't talk about that, so we might see more variety in counter users this season as well, but more about that later. First, we're going to head into Icy Wind, and, well, one of the main changes here is Wigglytuff, which this is maybe the worst decision Niantic has ever made. I don't know why this is a thing. All right, look at this, okay. Oop, that's not how you. This video is turning out way longer than I was anticipating already. By the way, we're at 19 minutes and we're only just getting into the new moveset updates. So yeah, that's long. We're just gonna keep going though. And if you enjoy this type of video, let me know down in the comments below. I will definitely consider doing more of this style, even though it's going longer than I expected. Anyway, Wigglytuff. Why is this not working? Oh my goodness, it's bugged again. Hello? Okay, wait. We just refresh. Wigglytuff versus Wigglytuff with Icy Wind. Boom. In the Great League. Wow. This is just the ones. This is just the ones. And you're picking up 5 matchups. You beat Shadow Claw, Alolan, Sandslash, a Steel type. 2s. Look at this. 33-9. 615 average rating. You pick up Cresselia, Dugong, Diggersby, Lantern, Ninetales, Sandslash, Berserkle, Superior, Steelix. Absolutely insane. This is dumb. This is dumb. Alright? This is absolutely stupid. I don't get it. That is not fun. That is not fun. Alolan Ninetales, also incredible charm user, of course. 29-12 in the 2s only. Ones, how do Ninetales and Wiggly compare? Wow, Wiggly is much better than Charm, Alolan, Ninetales in the ones. Look at this, 1923 versus 1129. That's crazy. How about the zeros? How do A9 and Wiggly compare? Okay, A9 is a little better in zeros than Wiggly, but it doesn't really change. It's not that much different. And Wiggly actually has a higher average rating. Yeah, Wiggly is going to be crazy. And it's not just these 2 shields that are insane. The general play pattern of a charm user is charm something down, have a charge attack loaded for the next Pokemon. And normally that was not that big of a deal, because you would just let your Pokemon get charmed down, then bringing a Steel type or something, and eat that energy, no problemo. You get out of there with a shield advantage, super fine. Now you're gonna eat an Icy Wind, and you're gonna be debuffed, either for the rest of the game, or you gotta give up switch advantage to clear that debuff, which just isn't great, and it's gonna make Wigglytuff, I think, way too strong. I don't like this at all, but let's see how it's gonna play out. I do like Icy Wind a lot on Poliwrath though. Poliwrath previously runs Ice Punch, which is a slightly cheaper attack, but doesn't get the attack lowering potential that Icy Wind has. And it's really gonna make Poliwrath quite interesting, especially in combination with that buff to Scald. If we get Poliwrath, the new Scald here, and let's give it Icy Wind. I think this will likely be the new moveset, but you could consider Power Punch too, for sure. It is a pretty reasonable win rate in the Great League already. With Icy Wind, of course, being able to debuff a lot of stats. You know, being able to beat Kaligar is pretty huge. It doesn't win the zeros, but I think if you're Shadow, you do, right? You do. You don't win ones and anymore. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I think Ultra League is really where it shines, though. So let's take a look at that. Ultra League. Because you do much better versus Giratina now, especially. Which is cool. Where's Giratina? Yeah, look how close you're getting. This is a counter user. You get so close to beating Giratina, which is, you actually win the zeros. That's insane. Like, that is really good. How about Shadow? Oh, this is still running Ice Punch. Oh, come on. If I change it. Okay, it was running that there. Okay. Where, oh, actually, I think I could do this better if I just go back and then to Giratina. And then just, yeah, press Shadow there. Easy. Okay. Okay, you still lose. You lose, but it's very, very close. So I think Poliwrath with the new Scald and Icy Wind is going to be an absolute beast in Ultra League. And in Great League, it's definitely going to see play as well. On these others, Abomasnow, Avalugg, Azumarill, Avalugg, and Arctibax, I don't think Icy Wind will have that much of an impact, especially on Abomasnow. I think you still prefer the spammier Weather Balls. But it could definitely be an interesting side grade. And the same counts for Arctibax. Arctibax already has Avalanche. And Avalanche is an extremely strong attack. As you can see, oh, Icy Wind. As you can see, it is 1.5 times stronger than Icy Wind. So, it just depends on how you like using your Arctibax. I think as a closer, shields down, Arctibax with Avalanche just the way to go, as you're just doing so much more damage to Avalanche. But if shields are up, Icy Wind could definitely be a play to get shields. You know, opponents might still be expecting the Avalanche, so they shield, and then also drop your opponent's attack. Actually, one funny sim I saw with Arctibax running Icy Wind was this, alright? So, normally, you just lose versus Shadow alone and Sandslash, right? You just lose. Not if you go straight Icy Wind. Oh. Hold up. Hold up. I thought you won that. Is it versus? Oh, it's very close. It's very close. Maybe it's rank 1s versus each other. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's very IV dependent, but straight Icy Wind, you can beat Alolan Sandslash in the 2s. Because you're dropping, you know, the damage Alolan Sandslash is doing. And that's crazy. This is never gonna happen, but an attack like Icy Wind definitely has potential on a Pokemon like Arctibax. I think it definitely helps in like the Gligar matchup as well, because normally you wouldn't be able to win straight Avalanche in 2s. That's probably a little better example. Like, you're gonna win every single even shield scenario versus Gligar with Icy Wind, whereas with Avalanche, I'm pretty sure you lose 2s. Yeah, you do. So it's definitely a trade-off with Arctibax. And it's just gonna depend on your playstyle and your team, which attack you use. Now, next up, this is all fluff, honestly. I mean, Trailblaze could be interesting on Alolan Raichu. Interesting on Raichu, but not great. I think it's actually interesting on Ariados, but with Talonflame in the meta, are you really gonna use Ariados? For Ultra League, Trailblaze and Oranguru is interesting. On Greedent, Trailblaze is very interesting though, especially in Great League. You could forego Crunch and go with Trailblaze instead to be better versus, like, water types especially. In Ultra League though, where Greedent sees more play, I don't know if Trailblaze is the way to go, since then you get walled by Giratina, which you probably don't want. Overall though, Trailblaze Greedent is definitely interesting. I don't think Greedent really needed the buff though. Greedent's already strong enough. They did not need to give it Trailblaze, but it is definitely an interesting addition to Greedent's move pool, but definitely not straight up better. Yeah, these Pokemon, yeah, we don't really care. Alolan Sandslash during Aerial Ace is crazy to me. Alolan Sandslash already has 1 million. Actually, let's talk about this, alright? Because I am mad. I am mad. And I'm out of charge CMs, alright? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 attacks already. And they're giving it Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is gonna do nothing for Alolan Sandslash. Almost nothing for Alolan Sandslash. Because Ice Punch, Duran, Ground Ice is already some of the absolute best coverage you can have. Aerial Ace is extremely niche. There is like one Pokemon it will allow you to beat, and it is a Rockrunnit. Previously, especially with the Powder Snow moveset that's more common, Alolan Sandslash just get destroyed by a Rockrunnit. Now, with Aerial Ace, you can beat a Rockrunnit. But, like, no one's running a Rockrunnit anyway. And this will also make you lose versus some flyers. Like, you lose versus Metabuzz now. Even with Powder Snow, you lose zeros. Like, that's dumb. If you run Shadow Claw, like, you're just gonna straight up lose. Like, and it's not even gonna help you with Metacham, alright? It's not even gonna help you with Metacham. Like, you're just gonna lose anyway. So, this is a useless move. They're just pretty much there to destroy your TMs. Same with Parabolic Charge on the Den. Parabolic Charge is an awful attack, alright? It's awful. Look at this. Parabolic Charge is 1.18 DPE. This charge is already not a good attack. It's 1.44. It's just better and it's less energy. It's wild. It's the same damage. Look at this. Parabolic Charge is 65 damage for 55 energy. And this charge is 65 damage, same damage for 10 less energy. Why even add it to the move pool? Why? Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. Give it like Trailblazer or something. Then I'd be okay with it. But Parabolic Charge, just a straight up worse move, that is just gonna eat away at my charge TMs, makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense to me. Anyway, let's calm down. Fly. I like what they've done with Fly. Alright, Sky Attack got nerfed. We haven't seen much flying types last season. And now they're buffing flying types again with Fly. And Fly is a good charged attack. a very good charge attack. It's old Sky attack, basically. 80 damage, 45 energy, 1.77 DPE. That is an incredible attack, and it's going to be pretty good on several of this Pokemon. Staraptor is the first one. Staraptor is very interesting. It has Wing Attack. It has... Let me find the right page. Here we go. It has Wing Attack. Oh, Staraptor is Wing Attack. It's Gust 2. I think Wing Attack's better, though. It's Close Combat, which is super interesting coverage. And then now Fly. It used to have Brave Bird, but I think Fly is better because Staraptor already has enough attack to pretty much one-shot anything with Fly. And the stuff you don't one-shot, Close Combat's probably enough. Maybe not entirely. Brave Bird definitely still some use. First, like an Azumarill, for example, Brave Bird's obviously gonna do much more, but Fly is gonna be so much more consistent, and it's also gonna be your cheaper move. Previously, you're baiting with Close Combat, which is not the way to go, because it drops your defense. But yeah, it has a pretty decent win rate in the Great League. A shield up. Look at this. Look at this. One shield up. Oh, 39 too. That's crazy. Now, you already sold a once. It's bad. All right. This is a bad win rate in a once. Staraptor will not be a great Pokemon in Open Great League, but it's going to be a fun one, especially as a closer. Shield up. It just goes insane. How about 2-1 shield? Like, that's still 33.9. That's still very impressive. That is much better than with Brave Bird for sure. Oh, much, much better. I think Brave Bird might actually be better in the 1-0, right? Yeah, slightly. But Fly just makes stuff so much more consistent, which is nice. So Staraptor, it's going to be interesting. The others, Braviary might see some play. I think it has similar coverage, but a worse fast attack than Staraptor. On Talonflame, we already talked about this. It's going to be insane on Talonflame. So that's a very nice bonus there. Then we're moving over to Scald. I mean, Slowbros gets Scald. Not really going to be that interesting. Polydog gets Scald. I don't think it's going to be that interesting since it already has Weather Ball. And you really want that cheap attack to be able to spam. And you're not going to run Weather Ball plus Scald, because then you're just double water. Doesn't make any sense. Would rather have that coverage attack in Ice Beam or Earthquake, most likely. Quillfish, I don't think is like tanky enough to use Scald. I think it kind of is Aqua Tail for that spamminess again. Suicune would be able to use it in Ultra League. Ludicolo is still going to be too slow with Scald. Bubble also got buffed. Ludicolo actually got double buffed, which I love, but I still don't think it's going to be very good. It's too squishy and not fast enough to use charge attacks, which will still not make it that great. Wishcash, I'm pretty sure we already talked about as well. Like, it's just going to be a debuffing RNG machine, which is going to be super good. It's going to be a super good Pokemon, but extremely annoying and frustrating to play against. And maybe even play with, because, you know, if you're on the dry streak of getting debuffs, like, that's not fun at all. So, I don't love it. What I do love, though, is what they're doing to Vigoroth and Toxicroak. Vigoroth now getting access to a Rock Slide instead of Bulldoze is incredible, because it makes Vigoroth much better versus, well, firstly, Talonflame, because you have that double super effective Rock Slide, but also, and I think most importantly, Ghost types like Sableye. You can now beat that pretty consistently in 2s, straight Rock Slide. I actually thought this was better, but oh yeah, better IVs. You can also win 0s, which is great. Trevenant used to be like an awful matchup for Vigoroth. You win 0s. Frostlass for when we're getting Holiday Cup. You now have a super effective attack against. Pokemon like Golbat for when the Evolution Cup comes around. Also have to worry you win 1s with Rock Slide. This is gonna be a great addition to Vigoroth's move pool for sure. Still gonna lose hard to Meta Champ though, so, and that will likely still be meta. So I'm not sure how big of an improvement it is for Open Great League, but it's definitely an improvement, and I think we'll definitely see more Vigoroth now, as well as Toxicroak. Toxicroak with Shadow Ball allows it to hit Metachamp, for example. Even with the current moveset of Metachamp with Psychic, Toxicroak can beat Metachamp in the 1s, which is great. And seeing that Metachamp will likely opt to run with Dynamic Punch now instead, Toxicroak does even better there, winning 0s to you. Still lose 2s though, because Metachamp is just crazy and Toxicroak's squishy. But definitely gives Toxicroak more play there, as well as versus, you know, Ghost types like Sableye. You still do great, but Shadow Ball will still definitely hurt here. Jellicent won't really wall you anymore. And you also have an attack to hit Gligar. So I'm not sure how meta Toxicroak is going to be, but at the very least, it has some play versus Pokemon that previously didn't, which is very nice. Palo Sandler and Astonish pretty sure it could already learn Astonish, but I guess now it has a little buff, but I think Mudshot is still going to be better. Then, for Pokemon to get triple Axel, I think none of these will really be that, like, effective. Maybe Articuno could use it in Ultra League. Cryogonal, I don't think it will, it's a Cryogonal, I don't think it will be that useful. It's interesting on Frostlass, but it's the same. It's kind of similar to Arctopax with Icy Wind and Avalanche, where Avalanche is so much of a stronger attack. It's just so much stronger. Like, comparing Triple Axel with Avalanche. Like, Triple Axel boosts your attack, which is nice. However, to make Avalanche to make Triple Axel as strong as Avalanche, you need 2 boosts. Because each boost gives a 25% increase in damage, and you need a 50% increase in damage to do the same amount of damage with Triple Axel as you would with Avalanche. Which is almost... you're almost never gonna get 2 boosts. So, I don't... unless you want to buff up your Shadow Ball damage, Triple Axel won't really be that useful. So I think in general, the safe play is still going with Avalanche, as that just allows you to hit for so much more ice damage. However, there is definitely some niche play with Triple Axel to boost Shadow Ball damage, right? Like, imagine bringing your Frostlass into an already winning matchup, Triple Axeling, like a ground tap type down, and then Shadow Balling the Registeel or Alolan Sandslash that comes in next, you know? Because then the Shadow Ball will do so much more damage, maybe even knock out. That will be quite positive. But overall, Avalanche probably still a safer move. But it's definitely an interesting addition that I do like a lot. Alright, those were all the attacks, but now let's talk about the greatest, the biggest winner of this moveset update. Post your guesses down in the comments below right now. I'm thinking, my guess is that all of you might be saying Talonflame. And, you know, I think you're right. You know, Incinerate gains a big buff. You got Fly. Talonflame is a big winner. Some of you might also be saying Poliwrath. And I think you're not wrong either. Icy Wind plus Scald is incredible. Others may be saying Wigglytuff. With Icy Wind, you definitely have a good point though. But what I told you, the biggest winner wasn't even on this list, and it's just freaking Lantern. Yes. Lantern beats all of these Pokemon. Lantern beats Talonflame. Lantern beats Poliwrath. Lantern is, I think, probably pretty decent versus Wigglytuff as well. And because of the rise in fire types, grass types will be less common. So less counters for Lantern as well. Yeah, this whole update is just a, I mean, there's Pokemon with Trailblaze, but Trailblaze sucks. All these Pokemon, they're not really gonna be meta. There's Fly. Like, Lantern is just gonna get so good, and I am pretty worried about it, to be honest. Lantern is gonna be insane, and I do believe we're gonna see a bit of an RPS, like, circle of grass and fire and Lantern is what I'm expecting. I actually saw my friend, Mind Joke, make a tweet about this. Here you go. Look at this. Corporate needs you to find the difference between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture. Facts. It's just, what is this? Season, like 3 seasons ago, all over again. Now, the nice thing is that there is a core breaker for these 3, and it's Dragons. I think Dragons will be quite good in the current meta as well because of this core. Like, a Dragonair beats all 3, Arctopax a very good chance. However, then there's another Pokemon that does very good versus all of these as well, and that's, well, this little Pinky Boy. Yeah, well, not all of them, but it does very good versus Talonflame. It's very good versus Dragons. It's not even that bad versus Lantern. So, yeah, I'm not really looking forward to this very much as well. I really wish they nerfed Carbink. I think they should have, but they didn't. And I'm kind of worried this meta is gonna turn into a well, an RPS circle between fire, water, grass, dragons to break that circle, and then Carbink to just break the dragons. Oh, and then maybe Mud Boys. I do think Rise and Mud Boys to counter Carbink. So, I don't know, it's still a bit tough. But I guess we're gonna figure it out once we, well, once we actually play it. Anyway, I think I've ranted enough. This video turned out way longer than I wanted it to be, so we're just gonna end it here. If there's anything you think I missed, actually, before I end, I do want to give a quick note on the schedule. We have a lot of pretty interesting cups this season. Not gonna lie, I mean, I like Retro Cup, I like Holiday Cup, I like Fantasy Cup, Isui Cup is gonna be interesting, not that great. Evolution Cup is cool, I think. But then we got Catch Cup for a week, which is like, I don't like that. And then there's also no Premier Cups. Where are the Premier Cups? Like, actually, I'm like 99% sure seasons ago, they promised to give us more Premier Cups because they were getting rid of Classics. And now we're just getting 2 seasons without Premier Cups. What is that about? Well, yeah. Anyway, that was it. Let me know what you guys think of this season down in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video. Good luck with your battles, trainers.